What's up, guys? Alex Keeson, good morning. This is definitely a wonderful early morning, and I wanted to just spend just a few minutes talking to you about the importance of self-education, self-study, self-awareness, and self-analysis. And I mean, there's a lot of self, and I think what I want to drive here with today's message is education, learning, and continuing to grow yourself and develop yourself outside of just the regular, formal school education and school environment to something where you can say, I did it on my own, and I've invested into my own personal development without anybody telling me what to do and what to study, what books to pick out, and what materials to read. It's all comes from within, something that it inspires you to grow, inspires you to continue to develop yourself and grow yourself into the person that you are today, and into the leader you're in today. And one thing that for me that it starts with is, obviously there's, as I'm sure you guys are fully aware, there's a ton of different material, there's a ton of different resources that you have access to especially in today's environment, whether it's online or offline. But especially online, there's so many different resources. There's so many tools that you can get your hands on, and do that at absolutely no cost to you in most cases. It's and in some cases, even if it's a paid content or paid resources, books, podcasts, whatever it is, trainings and the courses, it's all done if you choose to invest in yourself, and if you choose to continue to grow yourself, then the resources out there and the resources are available. All it takes is your desire and your willingness to actually dive into those resources and actually begin growing yourself and continuing growing yourself. Especially if, let's say, for example, if you haven't gone through, for example, higher education, going to college or university, and but yet you still want to grow, continue growing yourself and developing yourself as a person, as a leader, and finding what you're truly passionate about, what you want to do in life, and maybe you're still searching, maybe you still don't know. So one thing I can tell you is that you can always start with your personal development, with your personal growth, and you can find the resources, you can find the tools that you need to begin that education. All it takes is to looking for it. So one of the things that the reason I'm bringing this up is, I have a lot of personally I've looked for many different tools and resources to continue to grow myself as a leader, as a person, and in my personal own development journey. And I've found a lot of there's a lot of great tools available. There's a lot of books that are available on leadership, on personal development, motivation, inspiration, many different things that help us to grow as a person and as a leader. So and just over the period of a few months, over the period of a year, or years actually at this point, I've read so many books on various different topics, mostly leadership, but also there are other different books on personal development, and even some fantasy and other things, other topics that I previously would not be interested in. And I thought I wouldn't be, but then once you start immersing yourself into that content, once you start actually reading or listening to various books and podcasts, and reading different content, you begin to realize, well, there's so much out there. There's so much of good stuff that you can absolutely get your hands on and continue to grow yourself and develop yourself. Because the excuse of I don't have time, or I don't have money, or I don't have the resources, or a way of actually continuing my self-education and personal development, that's all excuses, and quite frankly, it's just really a way to say that I really don't want to do this, or this is not something that I'm interested in or passionate about. So if you're saying that I'm into leadership or I'm into personal development, I want to become a better leader, I want to become a better person, I want to continue to expand my knowledge and my inner education and continue growing my knowledge, then if you really want to do that, then you will find a way. You find the resources. You'll find the time to get yourself into those resources and into that education. And if you're saying that you're not, if you don't have time, or if you don't have resources, if you don't have financial stability to get there, it's all really a ways just excuses of not really proceeding. There's a lack of desire proceeding to actually follow through on your say that you're really passionate or care about. For example, in my case, I mean, I spend roughly every single day I spend about 2 to 3 hours just sitting in traffic, and that's and many people say, well, it sucks, right? And then it's how could you do that? And it's horrible. And you're what do you do with all that time? Well, the goal is to find a way to use that time wisely versus just sitting there getting frustrated at the cars are not moving, for example, and just finding time, what to do during that time, and do that with a purpose. So one thing that I've been doing for a while now, I would say for about a year, is actually reading various or listening various books that I've been interested in, and something that I wanted to learn more about. Through audiobooks, for example, there's a great tool, a great resource is called Audible, which I'm sure many of you guys have heard of it. A great resource where you can essentially, it's any book you can get from Amazon, and you're added to your library, and then you can listen to it. And what it does is, instead of doing that or creating an excuse, I don't have time to read the book. It's pretty much a given. You've got to do that, right? If you wanted to continue growing yourself, you've got to continue expanding your knowledge. So if you don't have time to sit down and actually read to a physical copy of a book, but you have time, which most of us do, is to actually listen to a book, same content, except the way of you receiving the information is different, right? And this way you're actually listening to it, then that option is always there. And just over the period of several months, I mean, I've read probably 15 to 20 different awesome, great leadership and personal development books that I will have a pleasure actually sharing my experiences with you guys about. And what I've actually just started, so it's something that's really brand new. But I figured it would be, what are the better way to share my passion for personal development and growth, and the books that I'm reading and listening, is actually sharing them with you guys through a quick personal summary, as well as some of the key takeaways and key points that I took away from the book as I was reading or listening to it. So I'll be sharing that with you guys through the Heart and Mind of a Leader website, which is www.heartandmindofaleader.com, and there is a page that I just recently created. It's titled Book Reviews, Key Points and Takeaways. And it's not a typical book summary that I'm sharing with you guys. It's just my personal takeaway and personal summary from that book that I've taken, and just an overall big picture, as well as some of the key takeaways and key points that I noted while I was reading and listening to those books. So as of right now, it's just the one book, but I will be essentially going back and adding all other books that I read, and I will continue to read moving forward. So hopefully this will help you to inspire to look into that, into those, into the content, into those books, whether you buying it through audio format or in regular paperback form, whatever works for you. It's I wanted to begin to sharing that information with you, as I think many of the times we want to know what would be the good book, good content to read. But at the same time, we're really not sure exactly where to start, or what book do we want to start with. So it's available. It will be available to you going forward. Just all you have to do is just visit heartmindofleader.com, and you will look for a page that says book reviews, key points and takeaways. And I'd like to hear your feedback as well. And just let me know what you think. Now, it is the links that you will see on the page, they are affiliate marketing links. So if you choose to follow through on the links or make a purchase, I will make a commission. But I really appreciate you guys doing that if you choose to do so. I wouldn't recommend any content to you, any books that I don't believe are good or worth looking into, worth reading. So just know that it's not about just putting something out there. It's about sharing what I think is really beneficial content and a great book to look into. So it's out there for you guys. Other than that, in addition to that, what I've mentioned about books and just knowledge in general, whatever you do, just know that the resources and the content, whether it's paid or it's free, is available. So make sure you continue growing yourself. Make sure you continue, self-educating and expanding your knowledge base, growing yourself as a person, as a leader, as a parent, or just continue to build up on their skills and strengths that you have built, as well as looking at opportunities through self-reflection and self-discovery of the things that you can do better, and things that all the opportunity areas that you have uncovered as a result of self-discovery that you can begin addressing. So that's it for today, for this video. I apologize, it's a little bit longer than I expected, but I got really passionate, I got carried away. So if there's any feedback, comments, suggestions, please feel free to share them with me. I would love to continue reading and getting your feedback and getting your thoughts. Other than that, have a wonderful week, and I want to wish you the best. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be an awesome week, and wish you the best. And I'll talk to you soon. This was Alex Keeson. Take care.